What is going on, Lunatic Fringe? Let's talk about what's going on in the ecosystem. Let's kick it off quickly. Let's get you going. We give you the news that you need every day for the Luna Classic communities. And if you like this type of content, make sure it's imperative that you hit the like button on the way in. You smash that like button. That helps us continue to trend during the course of the day, and that helps attract new investors. That's the way that it works. So let's kick it off and let's go. Number one, Terra Luna Classic Outlook, key development signal, early recovery for Luna Classic price. Does that seem on tap? And it's set. Luna Community Launch Token burns initiatives to resurrect the ecosystem tokens. And that was really just we requested a few things. There's a couple of potential proposals that we're going to talk about. And that starts with that 1.8 billion USTC from the LFG wallet being burned. And that's amongst several different abandoned wallets from Terraform Labs. Terraform Labs did a horrible job of finishing off what they were supposed to do. In some instances, it becomes apparent that they lost the plot. They lost the keys to some of these wallets. They can't do anything with them. They can't access them, something like that. So that leaves it to governance to make the decision for them. So that's where we are right now. So I'll show you how that's playing out in just a moment. But as far as the rest of it goes, we're going to actually need to see some burns and not some anticipation of burns before we start getting a little bit more excited. And to be fair here, when I look at, not to take you off track, but when I look at this right here and I see that there's 7.8 billion total supply of USTC, but 5.56 billion circulating supply. That's because that 1.8 billion is already out of the mix. So it's not part of it. And if that is the case, then it's not being calculated. It will be in the total supply, but I think that's really, does it provide some clarity for people or something like that? If we actually incinerate, sure, but I don't think it's going to be something that moves the needle that bigly, if you will. Now, what does matter? Well, to me, what matters is when we get down into this 290 million, which is part of the circulating supply, or this 58 million, which is part of the circulating supply. When we get to those and we start to see those coming out, then you're talking about, all told, that looks like about 350 million, which is not significant, but it would reduce the supply to closer to 5 billion. That would be a big move. That's not 10%, but it is about, I want to say about 6%. So you would be removing about 6% of the circulating supply at one fell swoop. That is a big deal, and that could spark a significant sort of rally. So be watching over the next few weeks to see what plays out. In the meantime, if you have some extra time and you have some extra opportunity, the place that you can go to support this channel the most is going to be Terra Casino. They have the Mummy game. They've got a giveaway for $11,000 between now and February 9. And you can even play with XRP or XRP adjacent projects like Ripples, things like that you can use as cash in this game. And there is a big audience right now that's playing, and guys, it's very, very simple here. All you have to do is sign up, support this, put a little risk into it, win some of that 11,000, share it with me if you, that would be really nice of you. So anyway, check out Terra Casino as well, and if you need meme coins, then Terraport.finance is the place to go. Now, conversations that we've had over the last several days include information about, and this is important, about L2s in the Luna Classic ecosystem. I am not opposed. There are people who are, but I am not opposed to L2. Do I think that it takes away from what's happening on the L1? Well, no, I do not. As a matter of fact, I think it's the dysfunction, and hear me out, I think it's the dysfunction amongst some of the validators that is alienating and isolating new investors from the project. And I'll give you a perfect example, because I don't want to just say the validator's bad, because not all validators are bad, not all validators are good. But we are 2 years, 3 years, we're heading to 3 years right now since the collapse of the Luna Classic ecosystem, and we don't have a website. Okay, so if you want to, if there's anything that you could say that really elicits why there is a problem in Luna Classic, look no further than that fact. We don't have a website. That is, in my mind, atrocious, okay? And if we did, maybe things would be a little bit different, but I mean, what else is there to say? So if you want to contribute and you want to start bringing life back, then we have to start rallying around the L1 and figuring out ways to bring back some life. But let's also recognize Ethereum has a lot of volume, but it's those layer 2 where the majority of volume now reside. You know, you're getting about 2 billion in transactions per day from Ethereum, but you're getting about 4 billion in transactions from the L2. And that helped to create vibrance in the L1 in itself. Doesn't need to be everything doesn't need to run on the L1. So I'm going to be a little different in that regard. So these L2s, if you mess with them, good things happen, because let me also point out, lunc burns, 1.1 billion, top burners, top 100 lunc burners in all this time. Who are they? Well, I mean, there's Terra Casino, number 8 overall with 400 million burned. Here's Terraport, number 12 overall at 68 million burned. I mean, there are names out here that you should be able to see that you do not see. There are people who spend a lot of time talking about Terra Luna Classic that just don't show up here as a top burner. So, you know, make what you will, say what you want about these L2s and stuff like that. But guess what? They're contributing to the actual burn. And by the way, in my opinion, the burn is the number one thing about this. So that's what matters the most right now. So, and you might, by the way, be a little bit different. You might be saying, well, no, I think building on this network is going to be way more important. Okay, we can disagree, but with so many tokens, one of the goals right now is or should be mentally, because remember, at this point, a lot of people buy this on the meme coin base. What we should be doing is showing them that we are a vibrant meme coin atmosphere, that we are a vibrant place to build and all of that. And part of that comes down to a large amount of supply. People want to see a comeback story. They want to see Luna Classic win. Why are we not winning? Validators. Because validators are not putting up the right proposals. They're not creating the right ecosystem. We're not building the right way. Now we have builders here. We have builders who are building, but we should have more. I think that should be fair to say. And in order to lure more people in, we got to create more opportunity. Don't forget, it wasn't that long ago, Tron erupted in price action and activity, all because of meme coins. So speaking of meme coins, while we are, the meme coin ecosphere over here seems to be moving along. You're getting a little bit of a pump on Jurish, getting a little bit on Garuda X, trying to get some more value back over there. Food still dumping super hard, but you know, when we say dumping super hard, like, we have to really zoom out just a little bit to get kind of an idea here, because it ran so hot up here that it was an explosive sort of move, and that was a pretty good, I mean, that was a win. You know what I mean? Like, that was a really good win for everybody on the food token. And it looks like now that it's come back down, we'll see whether or not it mints another big high and whether we start to see some activity out of it. But that was a really good move. Same thing for Cat with Hat. You know, we had a nice little move. Whether they say they sustain or not, those kind of things are going to matter. Garuda X, though, breaking out. Boys, got a new launch coming very soon that we'll be talking about. Juris Protocol. Juris Protocol kind of consolidating in this range right here. I would be excited for another move. I would not be mad to see a move down here one more time to like 5039. 2024 was a massive year for Cryptonomy.finance, and 2025 expects to be even bigger. Folks, we're getting into the bull run right now, and to celebrate, Cryptonomy is having a New Year giveaway with a chance to start 2025 with something quite extraordinary. The prizes up for grabs at Cryptonomy are a Range Rover autobiography. 3 winners will receive 1 Bitcoin each. There'll be 30 iPhone 16 Pro Max winners and 100 winners of $100 in Pepe. And how you participate is this: open and hold active margin positions on Cryptonomy's trading platform, invest in the Launchpool during the eligibility period, and entries will close on January 11 at 11:59 p.m. UTC. The winners will be announced on January 12. So what does that look like? All right, I ain't no fool. So we're going 20,000 into the launch pool contract. Now, I'm going to use the bronze level. We've created the contract, so we are locked in. Also, the second thing that we had to do was set up a margin trading position. My position right now on my Bitcoin long is 148.5%. On Ethereum, 123.76. We're getting into the bull run right now. We're going to open up a long with 50 Solana. We're going to take that position right now. 148% is the expected profit. We're going to use a 10x leverage position, and we've confirmed. And now we have another position open, 50 Solana this time. Let's see how this goes. I think these are going to be incredible returns. Join me on this journey. Now look, we already know a lot about Cryptonomy and its strengths, and I'm excited to highlight them again. As someone who's worked with the company for a long time, I'm confident to say that 2025 is set to be a breakthrough year. With major updates and collaborations on the horizon, Cryptonomy is ready to soar to new heights. You can earn great passive returns on staking and other programs. You can gain exclusive bonuses, including Cryptonomy token airdrops at their launches in early 2025, and enjoy countless other perks that come with being part of this growing ecosystem. Now is the perfect time to get involved. Don't miss your chance to benefit from everything Cryptonomy has to offer and kickstart your journey with a winning opportunity. So I could see another dip right here and a buy opportunity for people on this, but ultimately, I think that, when you look at this and you kind of zoom out here, like, this is ready for a big time move, right? This is, I would be looking at somewhere up here in this range right here where we're about to drop that 0 to 401. I would be looking at that as probably the next impulse move, which would be a pretty big number. So let's look for that to probably happen pretty soon. But meme coins, again, they're not vibrant. They're not exploding. We look at volume over here. What we need 30,000 in volume or 300,000 in volume, not 3,000 in volume. Those are the things that matter. So we need to work on volume, and that's going to come from getting new investors and stuff like that. And that's going to be from creating a vibrant meme coin community. So ultimately, these things are good for you, but we need to create more volume. Speaking of burns over here, yesterday's burn was 141 million. So not to skip around too much, but get your meme coins over at Terra.finance, and you'll be cool. Also, you would be really cool if you bought some of this Selenium pre-sale, and it's going to be pre-sell SELE.selenium.finance. So you can log in here. Sign up for Selenium, and then you can get in on the pre-sale, which is going on for another 26 days. As far as the rest of all of this goes, let's talk real quick about the Commonwealth. Happy Catty is putting up the burn 1.86 billion USTC via chain upgrade signaling proposal. Liquidators have addressed all assets held in the LFG reserve. A significant portion of the reserve, including Avalanche, has already been sold. This demonstrates that Terraform crypto assets were excluded from the liquidation plan and roadmap. So then he proposes that this effort would be managed through Orbit Labs PPJ proposal. So you would vote yes to burn it and no that you do not support burning it. And again, this is the 1.86 in the LFG, and this would be the start. It would be my belief that Happy Catty is probably working towards the other wallets that I gave you before as well. BLV Labs has improved governance module 12137 and spending proposal. Users need 5 million lunc to submit their proposal. Testnet report on Hellnet. This is the governance module enhancement report. BLV Labs code has been merged into the lunc repository. On this first proposal is completely finished. We will continue to propose the next plan related to EVM, SDK50, IBC improvement, USTC repeg. Learning from this proposal, we will provide tech specs for the community to comment before choosing the implementation plan. So we will see, what goes on here, but they're looking for compensation for work that they have finished for that 5,000. Also, so I was contacted by Classic Chaos Podcast, and we're going to be having some discussion. I don't know where it's going to go, but we will have discussion with Classic Chaos about some of the stuff that they're talking about. Now, Let's point out one of the things that they were talking about, and we're going to get into all of this. We've got L2 as paradise and L1 as purgatory. Again, although I disagree fundamentally with what they're saying here, I do understand where they find this to be relevant. You're talking about low community participation, but you're seeing more in the L2 projects like Terraport. So, there are some questions, and we're going to go over this. There's always some reason that we haven't been able to pursue it, but we will see this. We will see this very, very shortly. I'm going to dig into this, and using this over here, they're using sociological and economic theories to dive into the perplexing paradox of how Terra Classic stagnates while L2 projects thrive. But then going down here one more, there's the Terra Classic roadmap that they've been working on. Now, they've given me access to their main location. I've looked at it. So we're going to be talking about that as well. But there was another one that came in down here, and how the burn tax works and how it's implemented, and using random meme coins as your reason du jour for whether or not to have a burn tax on Terra Classic, to me, doesn't really work. Dissecting 15 studies, I assume that the links for all of the studies are going to be here for me to go check it out and figure out exactly where the studies are and exactly what studies they've come up with, and whatever the case may be. So I'm going to go check it out, and we'll see. We'll see what happens over here. I'm certainly interested, and once we can break it down, then I will let you guys know exactly what is going on. Now, as far as price action goes for the day, so the markets are a little bit wonky, and I think that they are due for some more downside correction. Now, this is where we are, and when we zoom out, then you can see right here, like, I'm still calling for this move up to the top, and I still would stand by that. I do think that we've got a move going up into the 50 MA pretty soon, which means that we're going to hit 3012 pretty soon, but there's no interest right now in a big move. And the reason that there's not is if you come over here and you look, the total market is up 2%, but the total overall is up less than 2%, which means that the money's going into Bitcoin. Now, if you follow me, I had a long position. My long position, I got a full take profit on that long because it just pumped, Bitcoin pumping again. But I think Bitcoin's only pumping for the purpose of dumping one more time, and that we're probably going to come back down into this range at least one more time. So there's going to be one more opportunity to accumulate. And in fact, we might even see a stretch down into the CME futures gap, which is 80,000-ish, I want to say. So there could be a big dump coming very, very soon. Now, Ethereum and Solana are starting to move a little bit, but it's going to take a few days before we really get some solid recovery. If we were up 200 billion on the day, I'd be saying the same thing, because we leaked over the last bunch of days when you look at it from this standpoint right here, from that all-time high. And that's not where we're talking about, this all-time high, but from this range right here. Just consider we were at 3.54 trillion, came down here 15%, down to 3 trillion, just around 3 trillion before resuming that move. But that's 3.5 trillion, so we're 250 billion away from where we were just a couple of days ago, looking for the continuation run up into the 4 trillion area, and then we're not there. But, and this is a mighty big but, we're down, and the RSI is looking weak. It's under 50 right now. Now, that's middle of the pack, but during the bull run, we spend a lot of time up in this range to begin with. So I would posit that that means that we're probably looking for a spike and a move. And you can see the RSI here on Luna Classic also very, very low. Last time it was this low right here. What did it lead to? From this area right here, it led to a big spike up here. The percentage on that was from that low to that high, 35%. So I would suspect that we've got another big move getting ready to happen here. And you see it over and over and over again. When the RSI comes down into this range, this is where we get the big moves. So I would suspect we're going to get a big move coming up very, very soon. Now, what's 35% going to look like from where we are right now? Well, we'll look at it from here. And when we get to 35%, look at that right there, right to 12. 3 zeros 12. So 3 zeros 12. to me is going to be that next move. So that's what I think is going to happen as far as USTC. Again, I'm not putting too much into USTC right now as far as faith or anything like that goes until we get a real look. There's going to be a moment in time where USTC I think is going to go just absolutely explosive. Right now it's just not. So volume down to 24 million, USTC down to 6 million. And listen, by the way, just to clarify for you guys here, there are some situations and instances where just it's not your time. And I know that you have been waiting patiently. We've all been waiting patiently. I know you've been waiting patiently, but there's still a process. And that process starts and ends with Bitcoin, really. So until Bitcoin is fully loaded with funding, it will drag, by the way, it will drag the rest of the market up. But until we get to that spot where Bitcoin is just too profitable and we have that blow off where the money starts to cascade down in the market into more risk-based assets, until we get to that point, there are a lot of projects here that's going to struggle. Like we're struggling. Kronos is still struggling. Most of the crypto market, save for a few projects, are still struggling. Once we get that banana zone, which is coming very, very shortly, once we get that banana zone, things will change dramatically. We'll get a nice 10x out of Terra Luna Classic. That will feel good. I don't know, I don't know how it goes and how far we go. But let's just say getting a nice little 10x out of Terra Luna Classic would be a nice boon for a lot of people, and it would give some validation to all the work being put in. And I think it's going to be a great thing. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. How do you feel about the L2s? How do you feel about all of this? And by the way, I haven't really asked a whole lot of questions, but I do ask how you feel about everything right now. And do you understand that it's going to take a while? Anyway, let me know in the comment section down below. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.